nobody taught us in school. Guess what? They taught us go to school, get a good job, right? And of course, buy a house and run your family and live your life. But how is that helping you? Because that strategy doesn't work. So let's talk about this today because most people do not have money problem. I mean, there are instances where there is money problem. However, it's not in all cases. Most people do not have money problem. They do have something called the wealth order problem. They're two different things because you can make money, but if you have a wealth order problem, you will not build wealth. So welcome in and happy June. Welcome to June. So good to meet you. And if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm Doctor of Business and Technology, and I help you turn that your income to real wealth. Also, welcome in and ML Maligator. Welcome in. We're talking about that wealth order nobody taught us in school. What we were taught is how to earn income, but nobody taught us how to turn that income into real wealth. And that's what we want to talk about today. How do you turn your income to real wealth? Because the wealth order, nobody taught us that we are all trying to figure out ourselves right now. Welcome in. And if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology. I'm a serial investor and I help you teach you how to turn down your income into wealth. Because people work for 40 years, 45 years, a 20 to 65, but they still do not build wealth. Why? It's not because of the income. It's about what to do with the income. So what you do with that income, that's what we want to talk about today because you can stay broke if all that you do is you take your income and you spend it on lifestyle. But then if you take that your income and you set it up properly, right? Through the right wealth order, you see that you will start building wealth. So welcome in, tap out the live, share out the live, and invite your friends over, invite your children, your family and friends, invite them over, let them come and learn. And you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina, a doctor of business and technology. Today we're talking about the wealth order nobody taught us about. And you're wondering, is there a wealth order? Yes, there's a wealth order, and if you do not follow it, you realize that you're not going to be building wealth. So welcome in, and thank you all for tapping out the live, sharing out the live, inviting your friends over right here. I'll lighten up here a little bit more. Let's lighten it up. Let's light up the house. Awesome. Great. So most people make money. Most people don't have money problem. They have a wealth order problem. So what does this mean? Because you can make 50,000 or 100,000 or even 200,000 a year and still never become wealthy because you are following the wrong order, right? You're following the wrong order. And let's tap out the live. Let's click on the follow button and share the live. And my YouTube community, thank you for clicking on that subscribe button because today we're going to be talking about the exact order that you should use to build wealth. Because if all that you do is there's something called the wealth triangle and there's something called the wealth high. If all that you do is you follow the wealth high, unfortunately we're taught the wealth high, right? If you follow the wealth high, you realize that you're not going to build wealth because the wealth high simply means go to school, get a job, fund the lifestyle, of course, work to 65 and work and retire. And guess what? Get your retirement fund and maybe you don't even have anything or get social security and do it for another few years and pass on, to be with the Lord. But guess what? But we're saying that is not purpose. For you to have a life with financial freedom, you have to follow the wealth triangle. What is the wealth triangle? This is the one that we were not taught. Go to school, get a job, put some of it on your lifestyle. Then what then do you do with the rest? And that's what we want to talk about today, because what you do with the rest is what is going to help you build financial freedom. And welcome if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina and I'm Doctor of Business and Technology. I'm a serial investor with double-digit real estate portfolio. I've been investing for close to 2 decades and I am just here teaching you what I know. I'm a wealth coach teaching professionals how they can turn their income into real wealth. And this community right here that you're in is called the $1 Million League. It's a league of millionaire. Ruth, welcome in. Welcome to the YouTube community and welcome to the $1 Million family. If your goal is to get to become a millionaire or you're already a millionaire and you want to scale faster, you want to become a multi-millionaire, then you're in the right place. This is not a get rich quick scheme. As a matter of fact, the first thing that we talk about here is your protection layer of your money, right? You ensuring that we're doing some strategies that's going to help you build generational wealth, not for today, for tomorrow, and of course for your children yet on board, with structures and strategies that are proven, used by multimillionaires, used by billionaires to build wealth. And that's what we talk about. So things around strategies, things about probate, things about all of those kind of things, investing, those are things we're talking about here that you can also validate yourself. So what is that wealth order that we talk about? What is that wealth order? Right. Because guess what? You make $50,000 and you see, or you make 100,000, you make 200,000, and you're like, but then I'm not building wealth. That's because the order is wrong. So what is the right order, right? Let's just talk about it. And for those that are just joining, welcome to the $1 Million family. This is the $1 Million League. Make sure you click on that follow button and join the community of millionaires. And Loco just joined the community of millionaires. Congratulations to you. And on the YouTube side, make sure you click on that subscribe button and join the community of millionaires for you to learn the strategies that we talk about here, so you can also get to that $1 million status. And let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get into 10,000 taps right there. Tap out the live, share out the live, invite your friends over and let them join the $1 Million family so that they can start building wealth and change the trajectory in that family. Yes, Jesus loves you too. Yes, he loves us all. Also, great. Click on that follow button and your subscribe button. So let's talk about this. Why then do people make good income? Maybe 50, 100, 200,000. Why do they make good income and still not build wealth? Let's start with that, because that is going to help us get somewhere. Because number one, high income does not equal wealth. So understand this, because if your idea or your opinion is, you know what, let me just increase my income. If only right now I'm earning $15 an hour. If only I can bring it to $30. Yes, Jesus loves you too, Terry. Yes, he loves you. Yeah, and click on that subscribe button if you haven't done that. And welcome to the $1 Million League right here, right now. So think about it. Maybe your goal is, oh, you know what? I'm making 100,000. How do I bring it to 200,000? If only I can get to 300,000, life will be better. Things will be easier. I will be financially free. Unfortunately, let me break it to you. After being in the corporate world for close to 2 decades, I can tell you, and rose to the position of the vice president of technology, I can tell you that you are not still going to gain financial freedom. You are not, except you change something like this. And let's keep tapping out the live. Let's tap out the live and share the live. Thank you all for doing that. That's the reason why income does not equal wealth. Let's understand that high income doesn't equal wealth. Because let's take a step backwards. Think about it. If high income equals wealth, if high income equals wealth, think about it. And I put the book Rich Dad Poor Dad for you, so that there's some of those strategies that you would see in that book. That's one of the leading books, right, that would help you whenever it comes to your finances. All right. So think about it. You have heard about, maybe basketballers, soccer players, or boxers, or, all of those kind of people, athletes that became filed bankruptcy, right? You probably would have heard that, where they filed bankruptcy. It means that these people make millions, at times make millions a month. So it tells you something, that with the high income, automatically, because they earn a lot of money, it means that if high income equals wealth, then it means that they should never file bankruptcy. It means that they should be okay when it comes to wealth building, right? But then, unfortunately, they still file bankruptcy. Okay? They still file bankruptcy. MK, Granville, Zippers, Michael, Conville, Landcrest, they still file bankruptcy. You probably have heard that, or you've heard of people that won jackpot, and then they would say that under 1 year or 2 years, the money is gone. So it tells you something. High income doesn't equal wealth. What then equals what? Because that income, you're trading your time for money. The money comes in. If all that you do with that money is to spend it, right? You're just spending it on lifestyle. then it's not going to grow. So it's just like you got something, like you got a fruit, right? And then you eat it up. That's it. It's all gone. But then if you take the seed and you plant it, it becomes what? It becomes a seed that gets to germinate. So that's the thing. So unfortunately, if you're aiming to be more income, that it's going to build you wealth. No. The only thing is that if what you take that income and you use it for as a seed, that's when it germinates. Then you're wondering, what is that seed? Then how does it germinate? What are we talking about? What is this a farm? No, right? And but guess what? Just understand that the first thing is that your income does not equal wealth. Then what then equals wealth? That's what we're here. And let's tap out the life and share out the life. Invite your friends over and join the $1,000,000 League. If you haven't, click on that follow button. As a matter of fact, you've been here 5 minutes. Click on that follow button. Number two, why professionals feel broke. A lot of professionals make good money, and trust me, I have them as clients. I personally am one of them. You make good money, guess what? You pay bills, right? The first thing people do is they pay bills. We were paid on the 31st, right? 30th, money came in. But guess what? A lot of people, the account is almost there right now because they paid bills, they fund lifestyle, and every other thing, and then we're already waiting on the next paycheck. That is what they call paycheck to paycheck. That's what they call hamster wheel. Trust me, people do it 40 years, people do it for 45 years, and then they still not get financially free. But then, how do you become financially free? That's we're going to be getting to that. The other thing is that why do people get broke, right? Financial inflation. Remember, I mentioned something earlier. I said, guess what? People get to start working and they feel that, oh, you know what, if only, or maybe this could even be you. You have been working for, you probably started at maybe $20 an hour. And all of a sudden, you feel that, oh, you know what? If only I get to $40 an hour. You get a job of $40 an hour. And then you still feel that, well, I'm still not financially free. I'm still financially stressed. And then you're like, oh, if only my $40 an hour can become $80 an hour. It becomes, and then luckily you get Stephanie welcome in and everyone welcome in. And we're talking about, that wealth order that we were not taught in school. And let's tap out the live, click on the follow button, join the $1,000,000 League, because these are strategies that we teach here to help you build wealth. Awesome. So you get to, all of a sudden you get to $80 an hour. And then you still see that, oh, I'm still not financially free. Why? There's something called lifestyle inflation. There's something called lifestyle inflation because your income comes in, your expenses follow, and of course, it's dragging it that way. So at the end of the day, you just realize that your lifestyle is just going up. Your income is going up, so is your lifestyle. So you have nothing else left to build wealth because the difference between your income and your expense, this is your expense here, or you call it lifestyle, call it anything, expense, lifestyle, liabilities, whatever, right? The difference between it, this income and this, that is what's going to help you build wealth. What you do with this. But if your lifestyle, if there's a lifestyle inflation, if your income keep going up and your lifestyle keeps going up with it, you would see that you're not going to build wealth. Right? And that's part of the strategies that you would see within Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that's why I have that book. I always recommend this for anyone. Try to get a copy of it, right? It costs less than $10, right? But guess what? It's life-changing, right? So lifestyle inflation is the other thing that keeps people, and keeps people broke. The other thing is paycheck trap. Right? People always just take the paycheck. You're like, okay, I'm waiting on the next paycheck. It's like you are chasing, right? The paycheck trap. That's the other thing that keeps people broke because you'll be like, okay, the next paycheck is coming. The next paycheck is coming. I would, so far I have a paycheck. I can afford the bill. Hey, thank you so much for the daily. I can afford to pay this with my next paycheck. I get this credit card, but I can afford to get this next paycheck. With my next paycheck, you already have a loan, right? Or credit, or you're already spent before the next paycheck. That's what is called the next paycheck trap. Because one thing you have to, you already have, you are always at a negative, right? That's what it means. So what then, how do you now get away from this? It's for you to, like, okay, you know what, live within your means, avoid lifestyle inflation. Okay, avoid lifestyle inflation. So what is that wealth order? If you understand this wealth order, you'll be able to address the issue when it comes to, understand, having a feeling that income is equal, is the same thing as well. Thinking that, what is impacting the professional, making them broke. You will think around lifestyle inflation, things around paycheck trap. You'll be able to address it. Let's keep tapping out the live and click the follow button and join the $1,000,000 League. This is the community of millionaires. If you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina, and I'm the convener of the $1,000,000 League, which is this community where we help people to get into that $1,000,000 status. If that's your goal, right? To become a millionaire. It starts with your income, and then with investing and some other strategies. All you have to do is click the follow button and make sure that you follow the step and execute. So welcome to the family, for everyone that's clicking that follow button. Awesome. So, and we're talking about the wealth order no one taught us. The wealth order. And if you follow this order, you realize that you would start building wealth. All right. So think about it. Now, the first thing is, let's talk. It starts with your income. I always say something. It starts with your income. What does this mean? The higher your income, remember, it's a triangle. It starts with your income. What you do with this income really matters. If your income is high, and then you manage the other part of the triangle, you'd realize that you're going to build very decent wealth. And you're going to, when you build wealth, guess what? The goal is financial freedom. What is financial freedom? Financial freedom is your ability to work because you want to work, not because you are working to pay bills. All right. So I'll say it again. Your ability to work because you want to work, not because you want to pay bills. A lot of people are working just because, you know what, I got to pay bills. The bills got to be paid. That's why we go to that work. It's not because you are passionate about it or you love that job with all your life. A lot of, I tell you, even there were statistics around it. So it's not just about you only that feels that way. But of course, we know that some people genuinely love their job. They love what they're doing. Now think about it. When you take that income, right? Take some of it, use it to fund lifestyle, because guess what? You have a lifestyle. You have to pay your bills. You have to pay your mortgage. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay utilities. You have to pay the car note. You have to pay car note or transportation or any form of transportation. The kids have got to eat. You have to eat groceries, right? Those 4 basic needs. You take care of those 4 basic needs. And of course, maybe a little bit more. And then on top of that, the other thing, you take some of it, take that income, fund the lifestyle, then take majority of your income and put it towards something called asset. And then asset will do something in return. It will give you something called cash flow. Then the cash flow is what you now fund the lifestyle. So the lifestyle that people now do, fund the basic needs. Basic needs first, right? Bookie, welcome in. Basic need first, and then every other thing later. It is, and in here, it's called delayed gratification. A lot of people do not want to delay the gratification. A lot of people want instant gratification, right? A lot of people want instant gratification. They want to spend the money now, let it come now, right? That's what is happening with a lot of people. But if you follow this triangle, this is what the school taught us. The school taught us, go to school and of course get a job, right? Fund the lifestyle, buy a house, and of course work till 65. But guess what? If you do it the other way around, which is go to school, get a job, fund a bit of the lifestyle, which is your basic needs, take the remaining one and start funding your assets. Then asset will do what? Cash flow. And that's part of the things that you find in this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I think I have another book for the people that have always been talking about living trust and all of those kind of things, right? That I am also reading right now, that can also help you. So Follow that triangle. So income is the first thing. It starts with your income. And if you want to learn how to increase your income, because I am one of those advocates that tells you value your income. Your income is very important, right? One of those people, because if your income is high, right? Then and your expense is low, then you can build wealth quicker. So how do you increase your income? That will be the next question. We're going to be having a free wealth building academy this weekend, this Saturday. You don't want to miss it. You'll find the link in my bio. Otherwise, stay to the end and I will show you where you can find it. It's free, whereby we'll be teaching about the 5K. Also, we'll also be thinking about 5K a month. Also, we're going to be teaching you about how to increase your income. As a matter of fact, I increased my income by 30,000, pivoting from finance as an economist and also a chartered accountant, moving to technology just with less than $500, less than 5 months, and I was able to increase my income by $30,000. So those are the strategies that we're going to be teaching in that in the academy, which is on this Saturday. So you really do not want to miss it. You don't want to miss it because it's free and registration is required. But we have like 4 doctors, a doctor, executive director of graduate education in California, in one of the leading California university, will be there. She'll be teaching about scholarships. So how can you go to school without paying a dime, right? Not paying anything out of pocket. We have a chief information security officer that will be teaching AI cybersecurity. We have a medical professional that will be here for people that want to go into maybe mental health, counseling, physical therapy, and also be teaching us about mindset as well. So all of them will be there and you will be able to get that for free. The class, I think we only have 10 more seats left as of this time. So go grab your seat and because 100, we're almost at 100 count. So it starts with your income, right? Focus on that income. So treat it nicely. Once you have the income, then you'll be like, okay, now that we're fixing the income, what will be the next step? And let's keep tapping out the live. Thank you all for tapping out the like. Click on the follow button if you haven't and join the $1 Million family. Tap out the live. Tapping is just showing that you care. That's the only language the algorithm understands. Thank you for doing all of that. Just tap the screen. It costs you nothing. Yeah. So the second thing is, so first is income. Now that you have income, and make sure you click on the subscribe button for my YouTube community. Now that you have the income, the next thing is your emergency fund. So you have your income. Your emergency fund is the first thing. So let's say you get a job today. What is the next thing you have to do? Make sure you start funding your emergency fund. What is an emergency fund? Emergency fund simply means your basic needs for 3 to 6 months. Basic needs. What is your basic needs? Your basic needs are your utilities, your housing, your groceries, and of course your transportation. So there's something that has to take you from point A to point B, right? Buki, do you agree? Something takes you and Queen and Mayon, right? Something takes you from point A to point B. So you need something, the car, either bus pass or something to transport you from one place to your job on a daily basis, that Uber or something. So you have to have that money aside. Of course, you have to eat. The kids have to eat as well. So you have to have that, which is the groceries. You have to have a house on your head, a roof over your head. You have to make sure that you take care of that. And then lastly, you also want to have something that covers your utilities, because you have to have it on. You have right now in Texas, it's over 100. Is it 90 Fahrenheit today? So extremely hot. So I can imagine if you don't have, you don't have an HVAC. So you need to have AC, right? Heat or cold or whatever. So you need to have that. So those 4 basic needs for 3 to 6 months. So give it an example. So your monthly bills is like, all those 4 things comes to maybe $2,500. So it means that you should have $7,500 in an account. Because why is this very important? In a case when there is a job loss, in a case when there is, in a case where there is a family emergency, in a case where there is a particular need, right? within the family, you know that you're able to take care of your family for at least 3 to 6 months. It is very important. And this alone is a major thing that a lot of people miss. And a lot of time, people will always say that, oh, you know what? I cannot put that money aside and all of that. But guess what? Look at Oracle. Look at what happened in Oracle. 30,000 people laid off. If they never had a backup or never had a plan, not an emergency, guess what? A lot of them, they will probably be already going through eviction, already having mortgage issues as of month 3, as of month 4. Think about Spirit Airline, 17,000. Think about Meta. A lot of companies are laying off as of today. But guess what? If you already have an emergency, for those that have an emergency fund, they know that they can take care of themselves another 3 months to 6 months, even though while they're looking for a job. Okay, so it is very, very important, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Now, the other part of it is that where then do you put that emergency fund? Do you just put it in your account, in your Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, or your regular bank account, or in your local currency, local country? Because I know we have people I have a global community, right? So in your own, where you put it is something called an high yield savings account. Opa, welcome in. And Boku, so viral. Olariwaju, welcome in. Each and everyone, welcome in. And we're talking about the right wealth order. If you understand this wealth order, you realize that you build wealth, because a lot of time the issue is not about that income. The issue is about, Andrew, welcome in. How are you? So let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get to 10,000 quickly. Thank you all for doing that, and click on the follow button and join the $1 Million League if you have not. So if you follow this right wealth order, you would see that, you would see that you would start building wealth, because it might not be about your income, because like I mentioned earlier, our income doesn't equal wealth. It does not. It's what you do with that your income. It's how much you keep. That is what really matters. It is how much you keep after. At times, it's not about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep. Somebody that earns 200,000 that only have $10,000 after, right, the whole year, and somebody that makes 50,000 and is able to keep 20,000. Guess what? The person with the 50,000 is actually richer, because that person would be able to take 20,000 and of course invest it. So the wealth order. So have your emergency fund. Where do you put the emergency fund? You put it in an high yield savings account. That's where you put it. So what is an high yield savings account? An high yield savings account is just an account. It's just your regular account. Nothing different. Just a regular account. But the only difference is that you are going to get at least 3 to 5% returns on your money. And as a matter of fact, Andrew that just joined just told me that the other day he said that so far he got $400 for free from SoFi for just even opening the account. $400 for free. So those are the little things, little wins that you can get. But guess what? With your regular bank account, welcome Rama, welcome. With your regular bank account, you are going to get 0.01%. And let's thank you all for tapping out the live. That's the only language the algorithm understand. Tap out the live, share out the live, invite your friends over. That's the language you understand. And thank you for clicking and welcome to the $1 Million League. This is the community of millionaires, people that are already millionaires, or you want to be there. That is what we talk about here. And welcome to the month of June. Yes, it's almost mid-year. All right. So emergency fund in an IU savings account, and you don't know an IU. SoFi is one. SoFi will give you 4%. What's the other one? Angela, welcome in. Robert Miller, welcome in. So SoFi will give you 4%. What's the other one? Vero will give you 5%. Capital One will give you 3.3%. Yeah, Capital One gives you 3.3%. Yes, Andrew, thank you. Capital One gives you 3.3%. So when you have that, it means that you're getting on your $10,000 every single year. You get $330 compared to Supreme. Well, make sure you click this for subscribe button on the other side, on the YouTube side. So think about it versus your regular bank. What do you get from your regular bank? You get 0.01%. That's $1 versus $330 versus $400 versus $500. And on top of that, if you open it with them, like with a SoFi, and even with a lot of them, you would also get some additional money, right? For you opening the account, they might say that, okay, you have your direct deposit, or you must have a certain direct deposit into the account, and then you would realize that, okay, you start building some little change from there. Andrew just got $400 from SoFi following this principle, and you're wondering, or you can just simply go on Google and search what is top best IU savings accounts in June 2026. You will find the entire list right there, and look at their review. Just make sure that it is FDIC insured. Whatever you're doing, make sure it is FDIC insured. And thank you all for tapping out the live. We're talking about the wealth order nobody taught us in school, right? That you should know, and it might be the reason why you're not building wealth as of today, right? And thank you all for tapping out the live, sharing out the live, inviting your friends over. Let's get it to quickly to 1,000 and then to 10,000. And Andrew, thank you for doing that. You would see the numbers will start going up right now that we're getting all the taps. So IU savings account, and what do you put in there? Your emergency fund, your income. So it's a layer. Like the wealth building order is, you start with your income, right? And then the next thing, let's say you start, A-Time, welcome in. Make sure you click on the subscribe button. How are you today? Welcome to the month of June, right? So you have your income. Let's say you start a job today. You have your income. You start with your income. Then you do the next thing is what? Your emergency fund. Emergency fund, which is what goes into your IU savings account that I just talked about. If you want to know everything about IU savings account, just go on Google and check best top IU savings accounts in June 2026, and you have it all listed right there. And that's how you do it. Okay, that's how you do it. Make sure it's FDIC insured, so that FDIC insured simply means that your money is protected. And guess what? You will get a better interest rate, 5%, 3% versus 0.01% that you get from your regular bank. And your emergency fund of 3 to 6%, 3 to 6 months is what goes there. Meaning your housing, your transportation, your groceries, and of course your what's the last one? Utilities, right? Those 4 things for 3 to 6 months. Put it in there for, it's going to be your safety net in a situation where there is an actual emergency right there. So that's the second thing. The third thing that you have to now do, remember income, then the next thing is emergency fund. Remember, I was the one who told you if you were straight. Oh, Ethan, yes. Yes, I am here. Welcome again, Ethan. Welcome. Ethan is on the YouTube side. Awesome. How are you? Welcome to the month of June, and everyone, user welcoming, Paul's welcoming, Mr. JD Brown, welcome in, and make sure you click on the follow button and join the $1 Million League. Congratulations to everybody here, and welcome to the month of June. Awesome. So the next thing is pay our interest debt. Now that we have taken care of your emergency fund, the next thing is our interest debt. What do I mean by our interest debt? Any debt that is above 10%, follow me, you will learn much more. Awesome. Yeah, this is the dry tagging, or what do they call this, right? We don't, but so good to have you, TikTok credibility, or what that is. Awesome. So, Mr. JD Brown, welcome to the $1 Million League. Congratulations, joining the $1 Million League. And if you're just wondering what $1 Million League is, $1 Million League, this is that community. You still can't find your stream. I am here. This is life, right? I am here. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm here, right? I am here. I'm not sure what you mean, Ethan. But then I am here. This is life, by the way, Ethan. This is life. So think about it. Happy birthday to you. Welcome in. Awesome. So what do I mean by our interest debt? Any debt that is above 10%. Any debt that is, when is it? Tomorrow, couldn't find it. Oh, tomorrow. I thought I was live the next day, right? I thought I was, but I am here. That's why I said turn on notification bell and you will find me, right? Turn on notification bell so you know whenever I'm live you would catch me right here. Okay. All right. I think that's the best way, right? I believe you thought that's why you're able to find me today. All right, Ethan. All right. So high interest debt is any debt that is above 10, any debt that is above 10%. So what does this mean? Any debt that is, you see your credit card, those payday loan, all of those things need to be taken care of. And you'll be like, okay, you don't have any business in investing. Hello, Charlie, welcome in. Click on that subscribe button. Welcome in, happy, welcome to the month of June, right? So any debt that is above, solution, welcome in. Any debt that is above 10%, you do not have any business in investing if you haven't gotten, if you have not taken care of those debts. What do I mean? Think about it. Let's say that you put your money in an S&P 500, which is very popular, right? Everybody knows about S&P 500. Let's tap out the live and share the like. Click on the follow button. Click on the subscribe button if you haven't, right? So enjoy the $1 million league. So think about it. You put your money in an S&P 500. Oh, okay. You put your money in an S&P 500. It's going to give you maybe like 15%. You put it in the NASDAQ 100, it's going to give you like 20%, 18 to 22%. But guess what? Your credits, thank you for liking the live. Your credit card, how much interest it is. Anybody cares to put it in the comments? What is the interest? I know mine, right? How much that credit card, if you don't pay it, how much are you paying on it? How much? I can give an idea. I get there's 27%, there's 21% APR. I mean, some people don't even know. Some people get credit card and they feel that, okay, I don't pay anything on it. There is a major interest on it. And there's some that's even personal loan, especially if it's not linked to your property, right? If it's not, it's not ELOC, it's not, that one is a bit lower. But when it is not a secured loan, right, backed up with a property or a collateral, the interest is often in the range of 10% and above, 15%, 20%. Now, a lot of people always get it confused. They're like, okay, you know what? I have debt, and I get this question every time. I have debt, and of course, I want to invest, right? I have debt and I want to invest. I only have $1,000, and I have a debt of $1,000, but I'm thinking of taking that $1,000 to invest, and they don't know the route to go. I tell you something, go the route of paying off that debt. Okay, just click on the subscribe button, right? Right. So you have 1,000 to either invest or to pay off debt. Go the route of paying off debt. You'll be like, okay, how does that even make sense? Let me tell you, let me give you perspective. Whenever you invest, it comes with a risk because your growth is not guaranteed, especially if you put it in an individual stock. But then let's now say that you don't even put it in an individual stock. You follow the strategy that we talk about here, which is putting it in baskets of stocks like ETF, right? That's what we talk about. ETF, exchange traded funds, or you put it in index funds. You typically will get, for the safest vehicle, you will get maybe like 15%. It's done like 15% in the past, 14 to 15% in the past 10 years. It's done between 8 to 12% in the past 40 years averagely. NASDAQ 100 has done 18 to 22%. You could get 25, but guess what? It is not, remember, it is the risk it's a risk of, the higher the risk, the higher the return when you're in the stock market. But then your debt is in the 27%. So let's even say that you get 20% from NASDAQ 100. It did really well. Or it did what S&P 500 did last year, 18%. But your credit card is at 27%. It means that you are paying you are paying your credit card funding, or you are servicing your credit card at 27% or 25%, but your return on your investment is only 15% or 20%. So it means that you are using some of your cash or some of your income to service your debt. So does it not just make sense for you to take care of the debt first? Once you take care of your debt, because you are losing at least 5% more or even 10% more, you not paying off that debt. Now take off that, go and pay off that debt first, and then take them. Then once you take care of the debt, then start investing. Okay, start investing. And that's how it works. That's how you build wealth. And guess what we're talking about, the wrong wealth order, the order that people follow in terms of building wealth, that is making them not to build wealth. That's what we're talking about. And I tell you, this little switch that I just talked about will change a whole lot of things when it comes to your wealth building, in your wealth building journey. All right, so the first thing first, your income. Take that your income, put some of it fund your emergency fund, put it in an high yield savings account. Once you have taken care of your high yield savings account, your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, right? Start with 1 month. As a matter of fact, start with 1 month. Then take care of. Then the next step is your debt, right? Any debt that is above 10%, so you only have maybe a car note and a mortgage and maybe e-lock on a property or something. That's what you should have left. But you see the credit card, make sure you take care of that, right? That is the third thing that you're going to do. Now, because you did 1 month of emergency fund in your IU savings, all right, yeah, in an IU savings account. That's the only thing that you did first. Then you now go and increase your IU savings, your emergency fund, to 3 to 6 months, right? Remember, income, IU saving, your emergency fund of 1 month. It means that if you do not have any debt at all, then you go to step 4. It means that 3 to 6 months of emergency fund is what you're going to do. Then you will start investing. Now you might be thinking, but emergency fund, why should I now just have 2 months or 1 month emergency fund and just go straight to investing? The reason why I say this, as a matter of fact, you can run it concurrently, where you say that, okay, you know what, I have 1 month or 3 months of emergency fund, and then you can start doing 50% of investing and putting 50% to balance your 6 months of your emergency fund. But then the 3 to 6 months is also a function of your job. If you are in a very safe job, you'll be working there 20 years. I know that there's no job that's even safe anymore with the craziest layoff that's happening now, right? No job, but you know better. You know if your job is shaky, the job is solid, right? If you are in a very solid job, you can even keep it at 3 months and just start investing. But if you know that your job, you are one of those people that, HR is walking past you, you are already shaking, right? You don't know if it's you, then keep 3 to 6 months in an IU savings account. Why do we put it in an IU savings account instead of the regular bank? Andrew is laughing. Yes, I mean, that's the reality of today. I mean, I've never seen it in the history whereby we have 30,000 people laid off in one day, right? Never in the history. 17,000 in one day, 7,000. It's in thousands. Before it's in hundreds, but now it's in thousands. So if you know that your company is in that phase, and you are within the technology sector where you know that everything is shaking, you're a software engineer, right? You know that it's scary. Yes, it's scary. And a lot of people are not even talking about it. That's how bad it is. And unfortunately, the market is at all-time high. So it means that, let me just deviate a little. And let's keep tapping out the light. Thank you for tapping out the light. Click on the follow button and join the $1 Million League. I was talking because I was trying to understand what is going in the market right now. The market is at all-time high. Unemployment or layoff is at all-time high. It just doesn't, there's no correlation. We're in a K economy. What is the K economy? K economy is like this. This is the economy. The wealthy their wealth is exponential at this point. So the wealthy is at the highest ever. And then there's no middle class. This is the middle class. The middle class is going down because people have been laid off on a daily basis in thousands. So the middle class is getting poorer, right? So it's a K economy. That's the economy that we are at right now. So I was just thinking that how can the market be all-time high, but then there's unemployment. There's a lot of people struggling. Everything is expensive. People are struggling, right? And then someone explained it to me, and the person was like, And I understand that because 90% of the stock market is managed by 10% of the, of the wealthy. I mean, it's 90% of the stock market is managed by 10% of the people, right? And this 10%, they're the ultra wealthy. So we're talking about like the Amazon, the Apple, the S&P 500. We know what it is right now. What is that percentage between Amazon, between, Mr. The what's his name? What's his name? SpaceX, right? Tesla, and all of that. By the time you bring those, already occupy the market. So because the wealth is going exponentially, right? The growth is exponential. It's the other 90% doesn't really count. That's why the market is so crazy right now, because everybody is running, right, to lay off people. A lot of companies are running to lay off people in the space of, it's AI, and then increasing their income, increasing their wealth, like the institutions are increasing their wealth based off of this. So, but then the middle class is more vulnerable than ever, more vulnerable. So if that's your story, right? If that's your story, then you know that you need to keep get your emergency fund to 6 months. 6 months, and don't joke with it, and put it in somewhere called emergency fund. An IU savings account. Why IU savings account? Why not in the stock market? The reason is we need the money for what it is, an emergency. It has to be liquid, but then it has to have something growing. It has to grow, but it has to be liquid. Liquid. But guess what? So what do I mean? It means that you put it in an IU savings account, not a regular bank account. An IU savings account will give you at least 3 to 5%. So it means that it's growing. But at the same time, it's just like your regular bank account. So your money is actually still growing. You are enjoying growth, but it's liquid and it is safe. Why you cannot put it in the stock market is because guess what? Every day or every single weekend, somebody can sleep on the wrong side of the bed, or sleep on the right side of the bed, and wake up on the other side of the bed and tank the market by just one tweet. You understand what that means? So what that simply means is that your stock can go down at any time. It can go up and down. It swings like ever before. So that really tells you something. You cannot leave your emergency fund, because it might be the day that somebody wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and tweets that it might be that day that you'd realize that, oh, guess what? You need that money. Guess what? You need have an emergency. So put it in a stock in the IU savings account. I hope we all understand that, in the IU savings account. And then once you take care of your high interest debt, and then the next thing will now be investing. That's the next step. So it's like this: we have income, emergency fund, we have your high interest debt, and of course we have investing. Then you'll be like, okay, so what sort of investing? And you're new to investing, if you're new here, that's what we talk about. It's until this stage that you start growing your money. Emergency fund is your emergency, right? But then investing, that's what helps you to grow well. You see this one, that is why a lot of people stay stuck, why they do not build wealth. Because this particular one is where you hear me say, pay yourself first. Take care of this, because your money is not going to grow if you are just leaving it in the bank account. Thank you all for tapping out the like. Can we get it to 1,000? Thank you for doing that. And if you are just meeting me, I am Dr. Lina. I'm a serial investor, been investing for close to 2 decades, and I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. And here in this community, it's called the $1 Million League. This is the community of millionaires. If your goal is, or you aspire to be a millionaire in dollars, doing it in 10 years, it starts with your income. This is not get rich quick scheme. This is not hype. This is real strategies like we're talking about today. The structure and the steps, the wealth order that people get to miss. People paying debt, investing instead of paying debt. All those lead to people putting their money in the bank, like regular Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, generating 0.01% instead of them putting it in a place that is going to give them 3 to 5% at the same level of risk exposure, right? Because inflation is at 3.3% or 3.8% as of a month ago, is at 3.3%, but right now is at 3.8%. I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's already 4% right now because it's jumping every single day now. It means that you are losing your money at 3.8%, right? That's what it means. So if you leave it in the bank, you're getting 0.01%. But if you put it in an IU savings account, at the minimum, you're getting 3 to 5%. And on top of that, and just to bring it to perspective, if you are getting 1% on your money, right, your money is going to double in 7.72 years. That's what is going to take your money to double. But then if you put it in investing, you would realize that your money is going to double in 7 years. That's the rule of 72, right? I didn't create it. But then if you put it in investing, your money can double in as quickly as 2 years. If you put it in real estate, it might even double even more quicker, right? And that's what we teach here, right? Which is the $1 Million League. So welcome in for everyone. Make sure you click on that follow button, and we're talking about the wealth building order that we were not taught in school. That's what we're talking about. It starts with your income, put some in your emergency fund, then pay high interest debt, and of course, you start investing. So where then do we invest, right? Where then do we invest? And let's keep tapping out the like. Thank you all for tapping out the like. Can we get it to 1,000? Can we get it to 1,000? And share this out with your friends and family, right? A lot of people want to hear about personal finance. They do not know. That is showing that you care, right? When you tap the like, it shows that you love. When you share the like, it shows that you care about your fellow individuals. Because here we are just teaching as many people. S33 welcoming, beloved D welcoming, Akozio welcoming, and thank you all for tapping out the life. We're talking about the right wealth building order. Income emergency fund, IU savings, high interest debt payoff, and now we're on investing. So when we talk about investing, if you're a beginner, put 1 if you know how to invest, right? Or where to invest. Put 0 if you do not know how to, or you're just a beginner, you don't know about investing. 1 if you know you are an advanced or intermediate investor. Put 0, I'm a beginner, or I don't even know how to invest at all. Put 0, and it's okay. We all learn from somewhere. Mr. JD Brown, Opal, Olarewaju, MK, Brightline, Beloved, S33 Judge. Yeah, let's do that. 0 if you do not know how to, or you're a beginner, and 1 if you already know how to invest, so that I can know the level of debt we go into, because this is a very important one, because it's only at the stage that you can start building wealth. Only at the stage. That's how you build wealth. When you put your money towards investing. Why is investing very important? Because remember, I talked about something called the rule of 72. Rule of 72 is 0.5. Mr. Jade Bribber said 0.5. Okay, that's great. So you're a beginner investor, but you're not also a novice. That's great. That's great. Any other person care to share? Any other person cares to share? And make sure you click on the follow button if you haven't. I know people get to forget that from time to time, and join the community of millionaires, because trust me, investing is the strategy that we use to build wealth in this community. No other way. And let's keep tapping out the life. So investing, what does investing mean? Investing is just a way where you put your money, how you grow your money. That's investing. Simply, how do you grow your money? That is investing. Okay. So, because guess what? Think about it. If you have like $10, all right? That $10 can only depreciate in value through inflation. It can only lose its value. If you just keep the $10 here or $100, it just loses its value. As a matter of fact, I think it loses its value every 15 years. Like it almost becomes a 0 every 15 years, because at 3.8%, remember, just remove 3.8 on every dollar, on every $3.8, right, every single year for the next 10 years. That's $38, right? 10 years. Then in 20 years, it means that's almost 7. That's how much you're losing your money if you are just holding it. You're not doing anything with it, but that's how you lose your money. So I think, is it 25 years? You can lose, your money can become 0 in 25 years or 30 years. But guess what? How then do you increase your money, right? That same $100. How do you bring it up to become $200, to become $300? That is what investing is all about. That easy. Now, what does this simply mean? You can put your money, IU savings account is one way. That's the minimum, barest minimum. which is you can simply check it. You just put your money, it's your regular bank account, but guess what? It's going to give you 3 to 5% return every single month. Every single month. As a matter of fact, I have Capital One and I got $58 just yesterday. Today's first $58 for free for doing nothing. If you leave it the same time, the same amount, when I left it in the Bank of America, all I got was a negative because they were charging maintenance fee every single month. I got negative. But with a Capital One, I got a $58. And you'd be like, $58 is nothing, right? But $58 times 10, that is $580. Times 20, right? I mean, times in a year, it means I get about $600 on my money for doing nothing. Doing nothing. So that's the way you think. So that $600. You can actually put it towards another investment. But that is even the basics. Now, another place that you can invest is something called the stock market. Now, with the stock market comes the risk, because I have to be very truthful to you. There's no people will tell you, oh, you know what? There is zero risk. There's whatever. There is always a risk. Whenever you're investing, there is a risk, right? But now it's a function of how do you manage your risk? How do you invest in such a way that the risk does not become reality? Because there would be an inherent risk, right? Which is an existing risk. Guess what? If you even you holding your money and leaving it in the bank, there is already a confirmed risk of 3.8% loss on your money. But then if you put it in the stock market, there is the 50-50 risk, which is I can lose my money or I can gain my money, right? I can grow my money, lose or grow my money. Now, how do you, if you put, so what is investing, right? Investing in the stock market simply means that you are buying a unit or a little bit of portion of a company. So let's think about something like Amazon. Everybody knows Amazon. Or, let's talk about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, everybody knows soda, the founder, and this is worldwide. Everybody knows that. Think about, you can invest in Coca-Cola and just use $10 and say, okay, Coca-Cola, I'll buy $10 worth of Coca-Cola. And you're wondering, but Coca-Cola is not $10. That's because you can also buy fractional shares. You don't have to buy a full unit of that Coca-Cola, right? This is you're going to be buying it in the stock market, right? And just like you're opening an account and then you buy the stock on the stock exchange, it's worth billions of dollars. But with that your dollar amount, you will buy a unit. And guess what? When Coca-Cola is doing well, as you are drinking Coca-Cola, others are buying Coca-Cola and drinking Coca-Cola, and they are making profit out of it, your money will be growing because you would also be getting return on it, right? It's just like a business. You put money in a business, the business is growing. Who wants it? You. That's the same way. But in this case, you are not just managing that company. You're not doing anything. You're not involved in the operation. It's just your money doing the job. That's just what it means. So in the stock market, you take your $10 and like, okay, you know what? I buy Coca-Cola. But with that, now think about it. With that Coca-Cola, you can also lose your money. Why? What do I mean by that? Think about it. Let's say that there is, it's never happened. I've never heard about it. Maybe there's a particular batch of Coca-Cola. For some reason, it tastes differently because the gas did not, there was no gas in it. You open it and there's no gas. Or maybe you'd have heard in the past where they said there is a dirt inside the bottle and somebody sues Coca-Cola for whatever. Or, people got poisoned from Coca-Cola. What's going to happen to the stock of Coca-Cola? People will boycott Coca-Cola, right? And then, there's going to be a loss. It means that your $10, what's going to happen to your $10? Your $10 is going to reduce in value. Champ, welcome in. Big Guy, welcome in. The P5, welcome in. Nuala, welcome in. And let's tap out the live. Thank you all for the P5. Thank you so much for the roses and gifting the registry. Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get it to 1,000 and from there 5,000. Share out the live as well. Invite your friends over so that they can come learn. Thank you all for doing that. And click on the subscribe button, click on the follow button and join the community of million dollars. This is MDL that you see right there. That is million dollar league. That is this community. Turning people to millionaires within 10 years or less versus 45 years, people working from age 20 to 65. If that's your goal to become a millionaire in 10 years or less, click on that follow button and join the million dollar league. Welcome, welcome everyone, and thank you all for tapping out the live. Awesome. We're talking about the right wealth order, right? Follow it and you will see your finances change, especially now that we are almost in the middle of the year. Welcome back, Adrian, on the YouTube side. Especially now that we're in the middle of the year, you need to do something significantly different when it comes to your finances. Otherwise, your beginning of the year, all those your new year, new me, you will have to repeat it in 2027 and you do new year, new me again. But this is mid-year. And as a matter of fact, we would also be having mid-year research in starting on the 8th, mid-year money research. So the challenge so that you can actually focus on your personal finance. So make sure you click on the follow button so you don't miss out on that. And on the 6th, which is this Saturday, we have the Wealth Building Academy, which is free, but registration is actually very required, whereby we teach you how to increase your income, how to invest, a bit on how to invest both in stock market and real estate. And of course, you'll find the link in my bio. Otherwise, wait till the end and I would show you how to go about it. So great. And thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's get it to 1,000. Share out the live and click on the subscribe button on the YouTube side. So investing, back to what we were saying, investing, we take the money, right? You put your money eligible. Yes, do that, and click on the subscribe button. Awesome. So take you take your money you put your money in the stock market, right? Whereby you buy the Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola, think about it, it can also grow the same way. Based on the scenario I said earlier, you can also lose money, right? So how do you ensure that you do not lose money? All right. Buy multiple stocks inside one. So it means that you probably would have heard about S&P 500 ETF, which is what we talk about. I always talk about protection because we don't want to lose our money. That's why we have these level of protection first, right? We talked about, your income, have your emergency fund, right? Have your your high interest debt paid off. Those are strategies. Power Investment, welcome. Yata, welcome. And everyone, God Royal, welcome. And thank you all for tapping out the live and sharing out the live. Welcome and click on that follow button. So now, how do you ensure you invest in the stock market? Because your savings is not growing your money. As a matter of fact, guaranteed loss of 3.8% to inflation. But then on the stock market, you can also lose your money if you invest in an individual stock and it goes down. ETF is just the one in between, whereby you are invested in multiple stocks at the same time inside the same basket of funds. Multiple, right? This is the basket of funds, or this is the basket of fund. Inside that fund, you can have 100 stocks, you can have 50, you can have 500. Now you might be saying that, okay, but why do I need to buy individual, right? And why can't I just buy individual one across board to spread that risk across? It's not the same thing, because aside the fact that it's almost an inefficient way, just the same way we're streaming on YouTube right now, we're also streaming on TikTok, right? You want to be more productive. You don't want to start doing 500 stocks. No, think about how long it's going to take you to do that, to buy individual stock of maybe $1 of 500 stocks, just because you want to spend $500. But then with $10, you can actually buy 500 stocks. You can buy 1,000. You can buy 3,200 stocks. Why should you buy 3,200 stocks instead of one? Because your risk is higher. When you buy one stock, if it affects individual stock, I think it would affect other stocks as well. Yes, the P5, not necessarily, right? So think about it. You have no, the P5. No, I do not. Think about it. You have Coca-Cola is the one that has a problem. For instance, is the one that has a batch problem. Does it mean that Amazon is going to have a problem? No, because Amazon it doesn't even produce products that they're drinking, or liquid, or food item. It's something that they are ingesting. Or Apple, right? Think about it. Uh, no. A-time, we didn't. Coca-Cola doesn't have a problem. I just said hypothetically, it doesn't have a problem. We're just making an instance. Okay, let's talk about Amazon. Amazon owns AWS. AWS, they don't have, for some reason, there's a breach in the data center. People started suing AWS. I'm not saying it's something that is real. We're just using an example, right? Ethan, we're using an example. Coca-Cola doesn't have a problem. We're just saying, right? So Amazon, because of that, the stock of Amazon goes down. That doesn't mean Amazon stock is going down or anything happened to Amazon. So, but guess what? Because you bought a whole basket, let's say you bought an S&P 500 that has top 500 companies, you have Amazon in there. Right now, let's say that only impacted Amazon. It doesn't impact 499 companies that is inside that basket. So it means that Amazon is the one that will go down. But guess what? There's no way you will lose 100% of your money. It doesn't mean that 100%, okay. Yeah, it doesn't mean that 100% of your money, you cannot lose 100% of your money, because you only have one stock that is impacted, right? That's why you are spreading your risk. Even if three stocks is impacted, let's even assume that the P5 within this economy, let's assume that it impacts so many stocks, right? Right? But let's think about it. It might impact so many stocks, except impacts the economy as a whole, right? And if it impacts the economy as a whole, it means that we're talking about real war, like World War II, major war. That's what it means. That means that the economy of the US or of the world is going down. That's what it means. But think about it. It's just, even with the US and Iran war, right? With everything going on, the stock market was going down. But guess what? Exxon was going up. Exxon went up 30% within that period. It went up 30%. So it still held the portfolio. So that's why you see like a VOO went down from five, from, was it 686? It was 725. It went down to 685. But think about it, some other stock went to maybe like 50% of their prices, but it did not, because Exxon is also in that portfolio, because it is not just one industry that is in S&P 500. There's so many other industries. So if one company is impacted, it doesn't affect the others. And even let's assume that it's an entire industry that is impacted. There's so many other industries. There is banking that is there, right? There's banking that is there. There's fast moving consumer good that is there. There's automobile that is there. There's real estate that is there. So at the end of the whole thing, you realize that you realize that you have multiple inside that basket. Excuse me. Inside that basket, and you realize that's how you hedge against the risk. So that's how you invest, and it is called the ETF. ETF is exchange traded funds. Okay, you got me now. Yeah. ETF is exchange traded funds. And that's why you would see that your chances of losing, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Latoya. Yeah, your chances of losing, diversification. That's the thing. Diversification. That is what ETF helps you to do. It helps you diversify your portfolio. It helps you to also hedge against risk, which is what we have in the stock market, right? And that's how you grow your money exponentially, significantly. And that's why you would see that you might be wondering, how is it even possible that they would say a fund has returned consistently for the past 30, 40 years, returned 8 to 12%. That is why it is possible, because there are years, it means that through the 2008, through the Aaron, through the COVID, through all of those, averagely, it still managed to return 8 to 12%. Even when the market when there was the total market crash, it still averagely, if you put your money in the past 30, averagely would have returned that. That's because They have so many companies that have been in existence 100 years, like companies like Procter and Gamble, like companies that have been in existence 150, 120, that are solid. Those are what you have in there. Like companies like Exxon, right? And it's in different industries. Opa, thank you so much for tapping out the life. And I saw your message. Thank you so much for giving that beautiful review. Awesome. So that is why you invest, right? And remember, I said within this community, which is $1 million league, that's why we can say that you will get to that $1 million status in 10 years or less. And we are not saying, oh, you know what, maybe. The reason why we say that is because we also need to use something called the trend. We use data. We're not putting ourselves in hype's risky place. We're doing what the multimillionaire does, which is index funds, which is ETF, exchange traded funds. That's where we put our money. And then we do a little bit of individual funds. So you're wondering, so how do I invest in ETF? There are different ways, right? I mean, easy way, get your account open, fund your account, and of course, buy the ETF that you feel comfortable with, and of course, and make sure that you set up automation. That's the first step. But you want to know the nitty-gritty of how to go about it. You'll find the course that we have set up. You want to know how to double your money, right? You have been struggling with Jen's mom. Welcome in. Congratulations joining the $1 Million League. Congratulations to you joining the $1 Million League, clicking that follow button. And Jen's mom, you need to make sure that your Jen's kids, make sure that they also learn this strategy and start building. As a matter of fact, I have my teenager that is working. I will soon be wrapping up the life. He's working right now as a lifeguard. He's already has his what's it called? He already has the credit card as what authorized user. He's working, and he's already has a Roth IRA. So Jen's mom, make sure that you're getting the kids also in the right direction, right? Have the Roth IRA, right? Have a business on the side, have the LLC, and let them start contributing their money in a Roth IRA. All right. So that's because I just saw Jen's mom, right? Jen's mom, like Gen Z mom. Obviously, So you want to learn how to turn down your wealth without losing your money in the stock market, ensuring that, okay, you are growing your money but not losing. Because here we talk about protection first, right? You will find the course in the link in my bio, right? It's called the Smart Investing Workshop. You would see it. It's right now, it's all at a discount because we are in this. I am the heart. Right now, everything is at a discount because we're doing CSR, because we have the Wealth Building Academy this Saturday. So it's free, but registration is required. Everything about the 4 pillars of wealth creation, that's what we're going to be teaching. As a matter of fact, I will not be, for the first time within the $1 Million League, you will be having 4 other doctors coming to teach how to go to college for free, how to get your education for free, how to increase your income for free. So many free, how to pivot your career for free, how to start investing, everything about that, how to invest in real estate, everything, how to grow your money, how to get the income up, what to do with the income, how to increase it, how to protect it, like LLC, like probate, like living trust, all insurance. We're going to be talking about the entire 4 pillars. It's on Saturday. It is free, but registration is required, and I will show you right here shortly. So investing in the stock market, do ETF, right? That is going to help you grow the capital that you need. The P5, thank you so much for the likes, and everyone tapping out the live. Really appreciate that. And of course, share out the live as well. Click on the follow button if you have been sitting here for 5 minutes or more, and make sure you also get your daily at me. We'll soon be wrapping up shortly, and we're talking about the right wealth order. Start with your income, have your emergency fund, pay the high interest debt, and of course, you start investing. Once you start investing in the stock market, we talked about the ETF, then the next thing that you want to do is you want to build the capital, right? To a certain point, you want to do something else called real estate. Real estate is, I call it the wealth accelerator, because real estate buys you, it gives you, it pays you in six different ways: cash flow, equity, appreciation, gives you tax benefit. Hi there, boy. Welcome in. How are you? Make sure you click on the subscribe button and turn on notification bell so that you do not miss out on the beautiful things that we do here. Yeah, how are you? How are you? So good to have you. Destin, welcome in, and thank you all for tapping out the live. So real estate pays you in six different ways: cash flow, equity, appreciation, tax benefit, use of other people's money, and leverage. I'll talk about leverage, right? With less than $10,000, you can own a home of $250,000. That's how beautiful real estate is. What are we talking about? We're talking about the right building wealth, the right order. That's what we're talking about. And now we are on the stage number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stage number 5. So click on the subscribe button, because we'll be talking about this again. And make sure notification bell, click on that follow button, and join the $1 Million League. And thank you all for tapping out the live and sharing out the life as well. So investing is very, very, that's the last one we talked about. Now real estate, it pays you in 6 different ways. The last one I'll talk about, the last one, which is leverage. Which, whenever the difference between the two, because you'll be like, okay, so why should I not just invest in stock market, and why should I do real estate? Because they serve 2 different purposes. If you want cash flow, then you want to do real estate. As a matter of fact, today is the first. I get Zelle every today. I've already gotten so many of the Zelles coming in, for my tenants, because I own and manage double-digit real estate portfolio. Even with my day job as vice president of technology, as a professor teaching AI cybersecurity, I still have these other income. Guess what? When you want cash flow, you want extra stream of income, you want cash flow, you want growth, you want to accelerate your wealth, you need to diversify, and you need to have real estate in there, right? Diversification is key, right? Diversification is key. So leverage, real estate will give you a lot of leverage. If you want to buy an ETF of 200,000, right? You need to have your 200,000 in your account sitting. It must be, or you go and take a loan. And a lot of times when if you go to the bank and say, I need to take a loan to fund ETF, they'll be like, your chances of getting it is pretty minimal. Or however, with real estate, the chances is pretty, very high. So far, you have a good credit or a decent credit, you have the education that it needs. As a matter of fact, they don't even care about the education. You have your down payment, right? That's all that they need. They would only give you 80%, finance 80%, even at times, with FHA loan, they would finance 97% of that property. That's why with less than $10,000, you can be able to buy a property of $250,000. That is the beauty of real estate. Beauty of it right there. And guess what? The other thing that people don't talk about, whenever the growth is, your growth is on 200,000. It's not on 10,000. On ETF, right? Your growth is on 10,000 because you only put 10,000, right? That's what your growth is on. But with real estate, your growth is on 200,000 because yes, 200,000 is what you bought the property on. But then the people would be like, oh, you know what? But then there's the interest. There's this, there's that. Whenever it comes to the interest, right? Who is paying that mortgage, right? Remember, bank fund 97%. You have 3% that you put in because FHA loan, first time home owner, right? You can do house hacking, stay on some part of the house. And then the remaining 97%, who pays it? It's your tenant. Somebody called the tenant, pays it. That's the person that is giving me cash flow right here, giving me cash flow, giving me equity, paying my loan, and all of that, the remaining 97%. But guess what? The 200,000, who owns the asset? Me. That is how you increase your net worth, right? That's how you exponentially increase your net worth over time. Guess what? With real estate, our property doubles every 10 years. If you buy it right, it doubles every 10 years. The one that we bought in 2017 already doubled its value. It's not even 10 years, already doubled its value as of last year, right? If you buy it in a B, C neighborhood, there's A neighborhood, B neighborhood, there's C neighborhood. There are different kind of neighborhoods. You need to just know that. And those are the kind of things we teach here as well. So you know you are buying right. If you buy it right, your property doubles in value. Guess what? Property that is doubling in value is not on 10,000, it's on 200,000. It means that your property in 10 years becomes 400,000. You only brought 3%. Somebody else is paying. Who is going to be paying for that 10 years? It's somebody called the tenant that is paying it. And if you also use investment loan, that's 20%. The bank will fund 80%. That is we want to grow your wealth exponentially. Real estate it is, right? ETF will help you build capital. Real estate is going to also help you. Real estate is going to help you accelerate your wealth journey, make it quicker, and get you into your destination. As a matter of fact, in this community, which is the $1 Million League, right? How do we get to one question that people ask every time is you guys are lying. This thing is a scam. That is not possible. I tell you, one of the strategy, the leading strategy that we have there is real estate, which I would show you, right? I typically would show you how you can use it in how the strategy. We have a clear blueprint, a clear roadmap to get to that $1 million in 10 years or less. The only thing is that you just have to be coachable. You have to be ready, follow the principle and the steps that we talk about here, and you will get yourself to that $1 million. It's in dollars. It's not in another currency. In dollars in 10 years or less. So make sure you click on that follow button and join that $1 Million League so you can learn the strategy. And this is part of the strategies, making sure that you build the wealth the right order. That's one of the strategy for making sure that you build it the right way. Not paying and waiting to hear something that I've never heard before. Oh, absolutely. That's what we're talking about here, right? So real estate does that. And then on top of that, think about it. Tax benefit, right? Leverage is one. Use of other money, people's money is one. Tax benefit is one. So think about it. With me owning double-digit real estate portfolio as a vice president of technology, also as a professor, you can imagine the income. Guess what? I got over $20,000 back from IRS this year. That's because I own double-digit real estate portfolio. Guess what? Real estate, or whenever you own an asset, or whenever you invest, you move from being an earner to an owner. You are able to change your investing, your tax bracket. Typically, your tax bracket, maybe once you get past 180,000, 200,000, right? Your tax bracket is what? 28%, 30%. You pay state tax, 32%. Really crazy. Then you'll be regretting. I'm just even working for IRS, right? A friend of mine pays 70,000 in taxes, right? That's how much, right? But guess what? She moved when we had a conversation, a one-on-one, as part of consultation. When she had a one-on-one, she put 2 real estate bought it cash the next year. Guess what? Even though she made higher taxes that year, guess what? She reduced her taxes that she paid to $10,000. $10,000 from 70,000. That is what real estate does for you. How? Because guess what? Those interest, those property taxes that everybody's shouting about, property taxes, repairs, all of those things, you use it to reduce your W-2. You use it to reduce your W-2. So those are just a few benefits of you investing in real estate. So think about it. Aside the fact of appreciation, aside the fact that somebody is paying you, aside the fact that you're using other people's money, think about the 70,000. That is 60,000 she just put in her pocket. Year one, she paid 70,000. Year one, she paid 60,000. The following year was 70,000. So between 2 years, her taxes were $130,000 that she paid to IRS. But guess what? The following year, it reduced to 10,000. So she just saved herself at least 60,000 or 50,000 in her pocket. That's what real estate does for you. And a lot of times, the middle class don't know this. And that's it. You see, I did show a video where the multi-million, and you're not doing anything wrong. It's within the tax code. It's right there in plain sight. It's just you not using it. I did show a video whereby we were talking about the multimillionaires. How they open a charity organization, a foundation. Who owns the foundation? Them. That's because they are supposed to pay maybe the taxes for the year is about, maybe $10 million. And then they would say that they convert that $10 million, they put it towards charity because that is tax deductible, right? And then they will do a little bit of charity of 1,000, maybe take a little picture, spend maybe $100,000, a little bit of charity. But then the charity, who owns it? They. And it's allowed. It's allowed because then they still funded the money back into the business. And that's how the wealth is being built. That's why the middle class pays the largest taxes in this country and most of the countries. So you don't want to, so you can easily change your tax bracket when you move from being an earner to become an owner. Earner to ownership. When you get to that ownership category, that is how you start building wealth because you can put a lot more in your pocket. A ton more in your pocket. And that's about how it is being done. All right. So real estate is the other thing. Use your ETF to build the capital, right? Once you build the capital, diversify and start putting some in real estate. The other thing is that you will now start getting cash flow. Remember, we started from this triangle. Who remembers my wealth triangle? Your income, use some of it to fund your lifestyle. A lot of people just use everything to fund lifestyle. And that's why they are doing paycheck to paycheck. But guess what? Use your income. Use some of it to fund the lifestyle. What are the major lifestyle? Housing, transportation, utilities, and of course, your feeding, which is groceries or, clothing as well, right? Not exponential, and that's it. And then take majority of it. As a matter of fact, I say 30 to 50%. And I lose a lot of people when I say 30 to 50%. But I always say that, oh, John, thank you for subscribing. Just saw you come through. So think about it. When I say 30 to 50%, people always say, oh, how? But guess what? You'll be so surprised. With $27 a day, that your lunch money and your coffee money, that is $10,000 a year. $10,000, 365 days, that's $27, 365 days, that is $10,000 a year. Now, if you double that, that's 54, right? So that is how you'll be so surprised at things that you can cut off. Now, and you have cut off everything, right? You are now very lean. And you still see that I cannot do 30%. I cannot do 20%. I can only do 10%. That's fine. But have a target in mind. Have a goal in mind, right? Set a goal, make a plan, right? Write the vision, make it plain, right? Know that your goal is 30%, 50%. Why do I say that? Because if you don't have a goal, you will not be aiming towards something. But if you have a goal and you say, oh, you know what? The day that you can, which is there's a change of job, your income goes up, lifestyle inflation will not take over. Or there's a salary increase, you got promoted, lifestyle inflation, your lifestyle will not move along with that your income. What's going to happen is that you see that your income, you realize that your income goes up, but then your bill still remains almost, even if it shifts just a little bit, but it's not going to it's not going to skyrocket and follow your income because you already have a target that, you know what? My income increased from 100,000 is now 120,000. That 120,000, I can only spend additional, 3,000 or 4,000. The remaining 14,000 or 16,000 goes into my target of 60%, 40 to 30% of my income, right? It just helps you to gap up in terms of your investing, all right? And that's how it works, right? Put it, because once you put that income, you now put that money towards something called asset that we talked about. Put it towards investing, and then once you build the capital, put it towards asset, like real estate that's going to start give you something called cash flow. This is cash flow. When you have cash flow, guess where the cash flow is going? It's still coming back to you to fund that lifestyle. But guess the only difference between the strategy that a lot of people use right now, which is straight line, income, lifestyle, and that's paycheck to paycheck. You want to end paycheck to paycheck cycle, change it to the triangle and put delayed gratification instant and change it from instant gratification to delayed gratification and see yourself start growing wealth exponentially. It's you either eating your fruit of your labor right now or to eat some of the fruit of your labor and you put some of it in the sand as a seed and then let it germinate. And then guess what? Who is going to eat the fruit at the end of the day? You. But guess what? You now have more fruit. Is it that one fruit versus multiple fruit? That's just it. King's Fit, welcome to the $1 Million League. Congratulations to you joining the $1 Million League and everyone joining that $1 Million League. $1 Million League, using some of the strategies is what we teach you such that you can get to that financial freedom journey, right? We are not teaching about money. Money is just a tool. That your income is just a tool. The goal is financial freedom, being free, financially free in 10 years or less. How do you become financially free? Working because you want to work, not because you have to work to pay bills, right? Having something else that is able to replace that your income, such that if there's a job loss, there's that income loss, you can still take care of yourself and your family because you have other streams. Your money is working for you. And that's what we simply teach here. Because we're saying that we're changing the status quo, we're changing what we were taught, right? What society told us: go to school, get a job, buy a house, and work from age 20 to 65. Start getting social security, get your 401k, work for another, rest for another, whatever, and then die, right? That's it. But there's purpose in all of that. There's no purpose. There's no fulfillment in all of that. You want to enjoy some of the fruit of your labor while you are younger, while you are still young and agile, not when you are old, right? 65. When you are old, you can't even do anything anymore, right? So, and that's what we are teaching here. That's what $1 Million League it's all about. And as a matter of fact, we have the Wealth Building Academy this weekend on Saturday. It's free, but registration is required. You'll find the link in my bio. You don't want to miss it. It's an opportunity to help you change your finances, everything about your finances. We're going to be teaching on how can you increase that income. So the issue is that you cannot increase your income. You cannot do 40%, 50%, or 30%. If that's the issue, we are going to be addressing that in the Wealth Building Academy on Saturday. And you'll find the link in my bio. It's free, but registration is required. It's called the Wealth Building Academy. As a matter of fact, we'll have 4 doctors coming. We have Dr. Fatima, who is the Executive Director of Graduate Admissions and Scholarship in the top leading university in California. We have the Chief Information Security Officer teaching AI cybersecurity, and Chief is also when Dr. Ade is going to be there to teach. If you want to pivot, he studied geophysics, and guess what? Is the Chief Information Security Officer. And then we have Dr. O. If you want to go to the medical field, she has her own clinical. She's a clinical therapist, right? She has it in the heart of New York, her own private practice, and still lectures in 7 different universities, right? That's so just to give you an idea. So these people will be coming. How can you increase that your income? And definitely I will be there. I will definitely be there to talk about how to increase that. Now that you get this income, you get scholarships, you go to school for free, right? And somebody like me that I also increased my income by 30,000 14 years ago with $500. All it took me was $500 under 5 months, and I increased my income moving from a top 500 company to energy. I moved to oil and gas and rose to the position of the vice president of technology. And I never went back to college until 6 years into it, where I went for my master's and also my doctorate degree. So it was not about the $500 was what took me there, right? To increase my income. $30,000 was what how much increased my income in 5 months and with $500. So that is part of the strategy we're teaching you. And I keep saying that you don't have to go back to school. And if you really, 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 really need to go back to school, then go back to school for free. Dr. Fatima has 4 degrees went back to school for free. All of our degree, never paid a dime. All our siblings, 5 of them, never paid a dime. And that's part of the strategy. She's coming to teach, right? We're going to enable you. We're going to empower you, right? That's what this community is all about. $1 Million League, and it is free, but registration is required. As a matter of fact, we're doing it as part of corporate social responsibility, helping as many people to build wealth as much as possible. So take advantage of it now that you're getting it for free, because as a matter of fact, the combination of those people with teaching, it is more than $10,000 in terms of what. Congratulations to Ari joining the $1 Million League. Congratulations to you, and make sure you do not miss out on the what's it called? The Wealth Building Academy. And I'm going to show everyone how to get there shortly. So income, emergency for pay high interest debt, investing, real estate, cash flow. Cash flow is what, once you start getting cash flow, like I said, I get zeal from left, it just comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I told you double-digit real estate portfolio. So it gives you, I always smile on the first of the month, right? Always smile between first and the third of the month, right? Because you see all of this, it's like your money now working for you because people are living in your houses. So it's get what? Cash flow. And then once you have cash flow, you get financial freedom, right? You get financial freedom. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. And I'll just wrap up with this. Investing before, always understand something. Investing before building your foundation is an error. You need to fix the foundation first. So if you start investing, you start putting your money in the stock market, you get 8 to 12% or you get 15%, but you don't fix that credit. Your credit that you are that debt that you have. You're paying debt at 27%. You need to fix the foundation. It's just like a house. You're building a house. Is it possible to lay a foundation, to just build these pillars without a foundation? You need to have a solid foundation, otherwise it's going to crumble. And that's the reason why a lot of people, right? That's the reason why a lot of people are not building wealth as of today. Guess what? One singular job loss or one singular family emergency, and they are completely wiped out, right? Instead of them to already have an emergency fund, if you already have your emergency fund, you realize that, oh, you know what? I am good. Right? Something, because that's part of your financial foundation. Investing while not having your foundation, keeping all your money in checking accounts. That one is, I've said this over and over again. It's going to take the rule of something called the rule of 72. Rule of 72 asks you how long is it going to take your money to double. That's what rule of 72. And you can go on Google. I always say trust but verify. How long is going to take your money to double? Take number 72, divide by the rate of return. What do you get? That's how long it's going to take your money to double. So if your bank is giving you 0.01%, I hate to break it to you, you will not build wealth, right? You are just saving, but your money is not going to grow. So it's 72 divided by 0.01. Sorry, your money is going to double. Sorry, but not sorry. Your money is going to double in 7,200 years. It means that in your lifetime, 7,200 times over, your money would not double. And that's part of the reason why your money is not growing. And that's why you might see that, oh, you're the same person that you started working with the same day, and you started job with the same day, you did the same career, earning the same thing. You see that this person is accelerating. This person has real estate. This person is doing businesses. But then you're like, but I'm saving. I'm even more frugal than this person. But how come this person is doing this? That's because the person understands that you are putting your money in your savings account and it's never going to grow. It's just like you putting what drops and it's never going to grow. How do you accelerate it? Put it in investing, ETF. Also be careful. If you go and put it in get rich quick scheme, you're also going to lose your money. You do hypes, you want something that is, I lost $99,000 in 6 years ago doing penny stock, day trading, and of course options trading. My love friend lost 50,000 in 1 week to Tesla options trading. And that's when I became humble. I started doing ETF, which has also built me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Simple as these are little things that people do not teach you, right? But guess what? You just simply, whenever we leave this life, take your laptop and check, where does the multimillionaire, where did they put their money? You would see that it's long-term compounding, consistency, dollar cost averaging, All of those kind of things are the things that they do. It's not options. It's not, I mean, for those that know it, day trading and all of those things, it works for them. But guess what? They take it as full time. They have the knowledge of it, but you have a full time already. You don't have that time. So do something that the multimillionaires, the same thing, the multimillionaires are very busy, busier than you and I. They don't have the time to start looking, oh, when is the chart going up and the candle is up and down. They don't. So that's why they don't, if a Warren Buffett says do the consistent, simple top S&P 500 or simple index funds, simple funds or whatever, then what are we now? This man has billions of dollars, billions. They call him the Lord of Investing for a reason. So why not just follow his strategy? Somebody that he said claiming that I own $1 million, but guess what? The $1 million, right? They lose it today, they gain it tomorrow, they lose it today. So those are the ways, right? Just follow our principle. Also, the other thing is that keeping all your money in checking account. You want to double your money, put it, IE savings account is there, put it in an ETF, Dr. Detu, Dominican, Gerald's Media, put it in an IE savings account, put it in ETF, index funds, then have your emergency fund taken care of. Buying, also the other thing is that lifestyle inflation, buying liabilities instead of assets. That car that you're upgrading, that phone that you're upgrading, it's a liability. It doesn't put money in your pocket. As a matter of fact, let me put this book again. Let me pin it here one more time. This book right here, you want to get a copy of it. There's a reason why it's been celebrated 20 years as #1 personal finance book of all time. Read it. This is summer, right? As you are going on your trip or anywhere, right? Take a book, take it and read, right? And understand your finances. You work too hard for your money. Take actions about your finances and, and study. It's less than $10 right there. The other thing is that he talks about asset and liability. That's why I even had to pin it to asset and liability, right? And then when should you start investing? We'll talk about the next time because we're wrapping up now. Next time we'll talk about when to start investing in ETFs, or when to start ETFs, when to buy real estate. We'll talk about that. Why both of them win together. Why do I talk about that? And the other part that we also talk about is businesses, right? Because we talk about diversification heavily, because that's how we spread our risk, right? And if you've been sitting there, click on that follow button, right? Click on that follow button. All right, and join the $1 Million League. So get a copy of that book and use it for yourself. So the next time that we're here, we'll talk about some other things, right? We'll talk about debt investing. We'll talk about debt investing, about real estate, retirement, financial freedom, right? We'll talk about that. And, we talked about ETFs and all of that. We'll talk about the next time that we're here. Make sure you click on the follow button, turn on the notification bell, tap out the live. And, if you have any question at all, now is your time. We have 3 more minutes. Any question at all on either debt, investing, real estate, retirement, financial freedom. If you have any question, now is your time to ask. Now is your time to ask why I bring up, the Wealth Building Academy. So for those that have not registered, we have very limited. I think at this point, we only have 10 seats left. At this point, we only have 10 seats left. So if you have not registered,
people will go viral every other week to make money from content. That's not true. Creators with under 10,000 followers are getting paid. Hey, I'm Bisola. I built a
and if only, and I just want to show us for. I was going to show, and you would find the link in my bio. It's just coming up.
wear filters. I don't do filters. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you now. Make money from content.
All right. So you would find it, you would see a similar link. It's the only link that I have on the YouTube, but on TikTok, this is it. You would see it. You see the Nest. Let me turn the page. And like I said, we only have 10 seats left. You see, nestu.me/ Money Talk with Dr. Lina. I'll click on that. And you would say, click on this right now. It would keep you there. And you would see it right here. This is it, right here. The Wealth Building Academy is $0. You click on it. It's taking forever to come up. So you can see it's $0 right now. It means that the price might change, but we only have 10 seats left. So click on it and take advantage of it. It's not just me teaching. We have 4 other doctors that are coming, including Chief Information Security Officer. We also have Executive Director that would also be teaching how to increase that your income. We'll also teach about investing. We teach about, it's like the entire 4 pillars. And then we talk about protection, in like things about insurance, probate, living trusts, all of those kind of things, LLC. How do you protect your money, right? Those are things we'll be talking about. So you don't want to miss it at all. So take your advantage of it right now. We just have few seats that are left. You can already even see the reviews that it's been there. And whenever we teach, like I said, this is corporate social responsibility. So we are giving our all, right? Giving our all, because I made sure that we had those collection of people, because you having somebody that is going to teach you how can you go to college for scholarship. Congratulations to that person that made that purchase. Congratulations to you. You just secured your spot. I think we only have 9 seats left at this point. We only have 9 seats left. You do not want to miss the opportunity. Once the seats are complete, trust me, it's already, and it's not just me, they also have it on their platform. So it might even go quicker, as you know, compared to, I don't know, right? You might go quicker. So take advantage of it now that the seats are still available. It's on Saturday. And please, if you know you will not be there, it's going to be at 12 noon Central Time. If you not be there, you please do not block the spot for any other person. Make sure you're there, right? Don't just say, oh, you're getting it for the sake of. Do not deny other people of the opportunity. But go there. He says, our professional turn income into asset, cash flow, and financial freedom. Are you making good money but not building real wealth? Or you are not making good money, you want to start making good money. Join Dr. Lina for a powerful free life training where you would learn the exact system to build lasting wealth. That's what this is all about. How to get your high income. Congratulations to the other person that also made the purchase, and everyone that is making their purchases right now. It's just, like I said, it's free. So it means that we have 8 more seats left. It's the Wealth Building Academy that we have this Saturday, no others, this Saturday, where we have, I'm still waiting. Maybe Dr. Fofo might still join. She's the Chief People Officer, right? To come and teach from HR perspective. She is very busy, right? Likewise with every other person. We're supposed to be 6 of us, but also thinking about it, having 6 doctors, they always all going to be having like 20 minutes. So I'm like, is that going to be like 3 hours? 3 hours might be too long. So we might have another session maybe later, but that's not going to come anytime soon. That what I know is that the earliest it will be is probably going to be in December. So we might just leave Dr. Fofo and Dr. Amino for the next session, because I'm also thinking about it. That might just be too much, except we just do 2 days. We were going to do 2 days before, but I decided to keep it to 1 day just so we don't overwhelm people. But the other part of it is that we are also going to immediately after, which is Monday, June the 8th, we would start the 21 days of money research. So it is not just the wealth building, is just to initiate the process. By Monday, which is the 2 days after, we're starting the 21 days of money research. I said it this year, anybody that meets me, it's going to only be you, be the reason why you do not build wealth. by 2027, this January, you look back, we're like, okay, is it that you have built wealth or you are on your way to building wealth? You have changed something about your finances, or you know that it was me. I intentional. I don't want to. I intentionally did not build wealth. We've talked about how to invest in the stock market. We've taught, and we did it for free. We've taught how to buy real estate. Did it for free as well. As a matter of fact, we did April, May, June. This is the third that we are doing in a row. So it's on you if you say that you're not. After this, it's not the excuse of anybody. It's on you saying that you're not building wealth. It's just on you because it's right there in your face. You have the opportunity to learn, from experts and you've been wondering why should I learn from you? One, I'm a doctor of business and technology, so I learned it from the books. Two, I have been investing for close to 2 decades. Three, I have been in corporate America like you, rose to the position of the vice president of technology for close to 2 decades. So it means that I've been investing for as long as I've been working, as long as my career. Yes, I look younger, right? Yeah. Yeah, I have been investing. Four is that I own and manage double-digit real estate portfolio, right? So I understand the fears and the weight of working in the corporate America. I understand all of that. The fear of, oh, I can lose my job tomorrow. I understand the fear of, what the weight is on me. Guess what? Even with a vice president's income, I still did not have the financial freedom, right? Until I started investing. Investment is what that's what gave me the financial freedom, right? It means that your income, when I tell you truly that your income does not build you wealth, I tell you with my what do I call it, with my whole of my heart, telling you that it will not build you wealth. What builds wealth is what you do with it, because I have been there. And for those that are just joining, we have the Wealth Building Academy, which is the June the 3rd, June the 6th, which is this Saturday, where we are teaching you for free how to build wealth, how to increase your income. When you get that income, how do you invest, right? And I'll show you for those that are just joining. I will just show it for those that are just joining so that you don't miss it. I think we have just 5 more seats at this point. And congratulations to those that have claimed their seat. This is my bio. You'll find it on YouTube. You will find something similar to this right there as well on YouTube. Is next to you. It's the only link on my YouTube, right? All right. So for the TikTok right here, you'll see it right there. https:/, or you can write it down. https://nextyou.me/Money Talk with Dr. Lina, right? Then you click on it. Click on it right here. It's going to bring you, and you should watch my latest post, by the way. Watch the latest post. It's going to be very beneficial to you. So, come on. So it's going to bring up this page, and you're not going to have that on YouTube, by the way. YouTube, you'll find that link, right? nextyou.me/Money Talk with Dr. Lina. You click on open anyway, because it was trying to trick to keep you. And then that is the first one here. Click on it. It takes you less than 30 seconds for you to complete. It's going to ask you for your name, your maybe email address, and all. And that's it. And you register. Its registration is required because it's going to be on Zoom. It's not here because it's going to be my community from every other place. It's not going to be on here. Once you click on the registration, once you register, you will get your link. You'll get your own personalized link to the Zoom session. And it's going to be on Saturday, June the 6th. So you don't want to miss it. June the 6th. And KMH just joined the $1 Million League. Congratulations to you joining the $1 Million League. KMH, welcome to the final. Make sure you click on that follow button and join the KMH. And for everyone that have also click on that, you've registered, make sure you also click on the follow button so that you know if anything changes. We also turn on the notification bell because we'll provide information ahead. S33 welcoming and every other person here. And we'll be wrapping up here. Take your seat right now. I think we only have 5 seats left, 5 lists left, and we do not have plan to extend it. And of course, a lot of people are also, because we have, it's not just me teaching this time, there are 4 people teaching this time. So they are also advertising on their platform. So it's a race on who comes first. And congratulations to that person that just made purchase. Congratulations, you just also secured your seat. Just few more, and I'll stay another 1 more minute. So take advantage of it now, because once the class is full, it is full. I want my JHQ. Thank you for the daily at me. Welcome to the so today we are wrapping up shortly. But have you registered? If you have not registered, make sure you register for it's on Saturday. So you still have 5 more days, 5 more days to plan ahead, 5 more days to plan ahead. This Saturday is this Saturday. I know we have all been waiting. I've been talking about it for some days now. The Wealth Building Academy, powered by the $1 Million League. For the first time, the $1 Million League is going to be bringing 4 doctors, executive director of graduate admission and scholarship in the leading university in California. Everybody already know the leading university in California. You probably know. And then we add, which is Dr. Fatima, then Dr. Ade is the Chief Information Security Officer and also teaches AI cybersecurity. Yes, imagine your Chief Information Security Officer. So is Mr. Cybersecurity. Then he now teaches AI cybersecurity. But then he is, and how can somebody that is in geophysics, right? His bachelor's is in geophysics. It did not take no other degree. And got into cybersecurity, rose to the position of a chief information security officer, and then he teaches AI cybersecurity. Well, you know what that is. You want to come understand from that person, how did you move without another college degree? Another college, you want to understand, and then you want to understand if your goal is to move into AI, right? And you have been wondering what part of AI do you want to be? Is it AI cybersecurity? AI cybersecurity, it's a combination. Cybersecurity in itself is lucrative, right? Now think about it, AI, right? AI with it. And this is one of the leading people, what do they call it? One of the few people that teaches AI cybersecurity in the college. So they pay him to teach. So I'm bringing him, Chief Information Security Officer, Dr. Ade, you will be here. But why are they doing all these things? Because, as part of being a doctor, one of the things that we do is corporate social responsibility. We give back to our society. You have to become a doctor is not just about the money, it's about also giving back to your society. And congratulations to that person that just also made the purchase and secured their spot. It is free, but registration is required. At this point, I think we only have 4 seats left. So take advantage of it. It is, and I'll show it for the last time while we wrap up this live. Show it for the last time. I mean, you have been looking for something for free. Even though a lot of times people don't value things that are for free, but then I hope you value it. I hope you are in attendance. Don't just get the spot and block the spot for others, because once the class is full, it's full. So take don't just click on, make sure you set up the calendar. And all of you that have just registered, confirm that you've also received the email, because it's on Zoom. It's not here. It's on Zoom. Make sure you have confirmed that you received your email, your email, to your own personalized email to get into the class. Make sure. And I'll show it for the last time while I wrap up, because I gotta go. I have a teenager that started working today as a lifeguard so that he can start funding his Roth IRA and start building his own wealth journey. So please see right here, and you'll find the same thing on YouTube as well. Right here, click on here, and you would click on open anyway, because I saw that some people just joined. And make sure you click make sure you click the follow button and join the $1 million League. This is the community of millionaires, people building wealth in 10 years or less, get to that $1 million status, changing the status quo, getting to that $1 million status in 10 years or less. And this is it right here, the Wealth Building Academy. Click on it and feel, you would see it. When you click on it, it's $0. That means the price, you should actually have a big price tag, right? Because they're 4 doctors, but take advantage of it. Click on it. And of course, you just ask you for your name and your email or something, because they will need to send you an email. And for those, you should, once you register, you should get an email in your box. If you don't have it in your box, check your spam, right? Your spam or your junk mail. It would come, you should receive it with the link to your own personalized link to have for you to access the training. It's going to be on Zoom, so you don't want to miss it. It's free, but registration, the Wealth Building Academy. And right after, be ready, because right after, we're going to have our 21 days fast. The 21 days, the 21 days money reset, mid-year money reset. That is what we're going to be having as of Monday, June the 8th. So right coming out, I've told you this month is back to back, right? We've had it from this whole quarter has been back to back from real estate bootcamp, which is buy your real estate in 90 days, to smart investing workshop, now to the Wealth Building Academy, having 4 doctors coming to teach you how to build wealth, and how to do it for free, increase your income for free. I'm still thinking, maybe we might add a 5K also, side also, that you can have 5K a month side also. If you have the time, we can also be able to teach that. Then on Monday, 21 days of critical steps that you're going to be taking to ensure that your money, if you meet your money, you start working, you focus on your finances this year. Before the end of the year, you still get the result. 21 days of money reset comes right after June the 8th. So be on the lookout for that. But this one, June the 6th, make sure you registered if you have not. I think we have just 4 seats left at this point. 4 seats left. One, the class is full. We have 100 seats, but it's almost over. 100 seats almost over, and it's take advantage of it and come and learn how to build your wealth. Come and learn how to increase your income. You're struggling with your income. You think you want to get to that 6-figure salary. You don't know how to go about it, or you think you need to take another college degree, or you're frustrated with your current career. Some people, they don't like to be on their feet, but then they are in the nursing field. Because they said, oh, nursing, how can you pivot, right, without having to go back to college? And if you have to go back to college, how can you go back to college without having to pay a dime? And then, you don't even have to go back to college, right? Then how do you even know, what are the things you should do, right? Those are things. And then when you now have the money, what should you do with the money, right? Should you start buying shoes, buying clothes, do the same lifestyle, let lifestyle creep? Or your goal is to get to 100,000, you don't know how to go about it. These are the things we're going to be teaching. And then once you have the money, how do you grow it to become $1 million? That's it. We're giving you the keys to the kingdom. That's what all the 4 doctors are doing. Keys to the kingdom. Or you want to, it's even your self-actualization. You want to be a doctor, or you want to be, you want to get to the highest level of education. You already made the money. You want to get the highest level of education. Or you want to have a feel. How does it even be to be a chief security? Is it even worth it to become a chief? Or is it even, you can ask a question at that time. That's the only time you can ask me, Dr. Lina, is it worth it to become a vice president? Is it worth it to manage six double-digit real estate portfolio? Now that's your opportunity and the chance. So don't miss it, okay? All right, we're wrapping up right now. Thank you so much for all of the likes, tapping out the likes. I might still be back here tonight. I don't know yet. Full disclosure, I might not. So make sure you click on the follow button, get your daily at me, and of course turn on the notification bell so that you know whenever I come up live. And I really appreciate everyone tapping out the live. And for those that joined the $1 Million League today, clicking that follow button, Congratulations to you. Hey, Mr. JD Brown. I hope you found this valuable. I hope you found value. If you found value, put one in the comment. And for those that took a decision and got their wealth building, registered for the Wealth Building Academy, planning to attend and making sure that they're changing the story in the trajectory of their family and they're building generational wealth, this is for you. Congratulations. Yes, Mr. JD Brown said yes, he found value. I'm glad, and welcome, and everyone. And I'll be wrapping up the live now. Thank you all that tapped out the live. And for those that just joined the community, please, whenever you're back again, make sure you tap out the live, okay? That's what you do. So you see like people like the P5, share out the live, tap out the live, get your daily at me, all right? It costs you 1 penny. All right. And that's how we know you're part of this community. Get that MDL behind your name. It's fancy. $1 Million League. If anybody's even asking you, so what's MDL? MDL is $1 Million League. What does it mean? We're the community of millionaires because you are part of the millionaire. Yes, I might not be there right now, or yes, I'm there, but then I have a goal of getting there in how many years? 10 years or less. That's it. That's the flex, right? And guess what? See yourself on that journey, right? And make sure you execute all of the strategies that we talked about today. And today we talked about the wealth building, like how to build wealth in the right order. How do you build wealth in the right order? Because a lot of people, they make this mistake. And that's what we talked about today. It starts with your income. And then we talked about your income, emergency fund, the high interest debt, then you start investing, and of course real estate, and of course you start having cash flow, and lastly you gain financial freedom. Financial freedom is the goal. Whenever we talk about wealth here, financial freedom is the goal. Money is just a tool to achieving that freedom that you so deserve. All right, well, I'm Dr. Lina, and I help professionals turn their income into real wealth with real proven strategies. All right, I love you guys so much. Ensure that your money is working harder than you do. Afra, thank you so much for liking the live and welcome me, but we are rounding up. Make sure you click on the follow button if you haven't and join the $1 Million League. And for the last time, make sure you click on the Wealth Building Academy, which is, you'll find the link in my bio. Click on it and right there, and or comment on my last video and you will get the notification. We'll send you the link. You receive the email in your the link to register in your box. All right. I love you guys. And thank you so much for the daily at me. See you guys later. Bye. Ensure your money is working harder than you do. Bye.